by the New World Order.
Oh, you didn't know?
You ready? Let's go!
Are you ready? I said, are you ready? Feed me. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, my name is Big Daddy Cool, Vinny Apicella, and I am here with another attack on your audiological senses, and this is the Sportswire. Ladies and gentlemen, today is Tuesday, August 4th, 2015, and we are going to be talking about, well, today's going to be one of those potpourri type of episodes, because the simple fact that, well, you know, we have the WWE to talk about. We have Major League Baseball to talk about. We also have? We've also got NFL football to talk about. That's right, Northeast Football League, the semi-pro football league that the Connecticut Panthers have been that they play in, that we broadcast a couple weeks ago. We will be back there. This coming Saturday with Len Murdo, and he will be joining me on color commentary, on broadcast, and we will be live. I finally got the technology, so to speak. Actually, it's just a jetpack from Verizon to get portable Wi-Fi internet in there, so we'll be able to broadcast live this Saturday. Kickoff time, I believe, is 7 p.m. Gates open at 6:30 p.m. live from Falcon Field in Meriden, Connecticut. And that's going to be the Connecticut Panthers are going to be playing the Pioneer Valley Knights. The Pioneer Valley Knights are actually undefeated, although it's week 4 now, and they're only 1-0, so they've only played one game. I don't know whether the past 2 games got rained out or canceled for some reason or whatever the case may be. The fact of the matter is they're only 1-0. The reigning, defending, undisputed AAA Colonial Conference NEFL champions, the Connecticut Panthers, are 2-1. They completely demolished their past two opponents. Last week, winning 35-0. After the week before, winning 34-0. So they're finally getting into their groove. They lost their first game, but you know what? They're getting into their groove. Their defense is getting in there and making the plays. And then the offense. They have 2 great quarterbacks. Todd Carroll is one of them, and I don't have the roster on me right now. I have to find it, but 2 great quarterbacks, and that's one of the better things about the Connecticut Panthers that I see. So not only will I be there, but Len Murdo Jr. will be there with me as well. He has been my partner for casting quite a few times. He helped me with the New England Knights when Kenny Gregory couldn't be there. And it's going to be a fun time all around. So we're gonna be doing the thing on the mic. All right. So we are. Okay. There we go. That could be why. All right. So we are here. It is like I said. It is actually 1:30 p.m. in the afternoon on August 4th, 2015. Recording this Sportswire episode, and then as soon as I'm done recording it, it will be released to the world. So how do you find us? How do you listen to us? Well, first of all, we are live on Periscope, so you could get on there at SWE Connecticut. Ask questions, whatever's on your mind, and we will be able to acknowledge you fans out there, the members of the Vinistry. And also, you could listen to us on Spreaker.com/show/sports-wire. That's the main place where we broadcast. But also our website, www.swe-ct.com, www.myfatcatradio.com. Facebook.com/SportswireCT, Facebook.com/BDC Vinny Apicella, Facebook.com/Fat Cat Radio Enterprise. On Twitter, SoundCloud, Google, Twitter, SoundCloud, Foursquare, Instagram, Tout, you name it, Periscope. We are at SWE Connecticut. And then on Google+, YouTube, and Skype is Sportswire SWE. So there's quite a few ways to get in touch with us, quite a few ways to listen to us, quite a few ways. I want to thank everybody. The last podcast I released, which was on last Saturday, August 1st, actually, and in only, Tuesday, so in only 3 days we went up to 50 listens. So that's great for you guys to go over there and listen to. Thank you very much. Thank you to all the Vinistry members for promoting the Sportswire, because we want to get bigger, we want to get better. I want to just go over a couple of our sponsors. Wayne Jones Management Company, www.blemg.com. Also, Jerry Wilson from It's So Real Productions, and also Stay Blessed Productions. They are all sponsors of Fat Cat Radio of the Sportswire. We will be looking for more, so email me anytime, sportswire@swe-ct.com, and we'll be talking about getting you into a sponsorship packet so that we can advertise for you, not only on the shows that we have, but also on Facebook, on Twitter. We can retweet, we can repost all of your stuff just to get your name out there. Also, with the Connecticut Panthers, we're actually able to get even more sponsorship opportunities. If you ever listen to football on the radio or on TV, every touchdown is brought to you by somebody. Every quarter is brought to you by somebody. You get ads in there at any time at all. Halftime is brought to you by somebody. So get your emails over to sportswire@swe-ct.com, and we will definitely start promoting you. Help us out. Help us get to the next level. If you like what you hear from the Sportswire or from Fat Cat Radio, definitely help sponsor us, because without you, without the fans, without the Vinistry, there would be no Fat Cat Radio. There would be no Sportswire. Coming up in the next few weeks, we've got quite a few interviews, quite a few things to talk about. First thing I want to do is, I had mentioned on Saturday's show that I was working on trying to get an interview or trying to get copy of an interview with Eric Bischoff, to play on the radio, and then an accompanying interview with the person that actually recorded the interview. That has fallen through the wayside at this point. It seems to me to be a little bit too past newsworthy. The interview with Eric Bischoff was basically about the Hulk Hogan controversy. As a matter of fact, I'll be talking more about Gawker later on in this episode. They've actually flubbed up one more time, and something else backfired on them. So, it remains to be seen how much longer Gawker may be in business. But I'll be talking about them. I'll be talking about that in a little while. We've got obviously any NFL news to talk about. We've got some baseball news. The trade deadline went by on last show. I did talk about the trades that happened at the trading deadline, which, quite honestly, it was one of those things where the Yankees didn't do anything. Even though I did see a Facebook post that the Yankees got Yasiel Puig, but I guess that was a hoax, because of the simple fact that Yasiel Puig is still with the Dodgers. The Yankees are bringing up one of their star AAA starters, Luis Severino. He'll be up, I believe he's getting his first start today on Tuesday. So we'll be checking that out and, keeping tabs on Luis Severino for you. Today, I believe, starts the Yankees and Red Sox 3-game set in the Bronx. Yankees are in sole position of first place, and, the Red Sox are in sole position of the toilet, as normal. No, seriously, they are in last place. They've just been riddled with injuries, and, but the Yankees know what it's like. Last year, they lost a lot of people to injuries. So, this just happens to be the Red Sox year where the injuries are just left and right, and they're just not playing good ball. As a matter of fact, I believe the chairman of the Red Sox actually stepped down earlier this weekend. Probably not because the team is doing so bad, but he's losing money, I'm sure. I'm sure he's not getting any favorable criticism. But, it is what it is. All right, so what else we got on the docket for you today? We got WWE SummerSlam news, because SummerSlam news is actually coming up. SummerSlam is coming up on the 23rd of August. It is obviously a Sunday. 2 days prior, on the 21st of August, WWE will be live in Bridgeport. I will be there. As a matter of fact, the 22nd is my birthday. So I'm going to be there for the 21st because, quite honestly, I want to be there. I'm going to be getting a group of people together to go. Okay then. Just checking my Facebook feed and something popped up that I was not expecting. But regardless of the fact, I want to thank for those viewers that are tuning in on Periscope. Definitely send some love, send some questions that you want answered when it comes to sports. Make sure it's appropriate questions. If it's anything sexual, if it's anything inappropriate, you will be blocked. I don't play that game. All right, so I want to once again thank you for listening. And, WWE SummerSlam is coming up on the 23rd, as I said, and we're going to be talking about the main event. We're going to be talking about some rumors. We're going to be talking about WWE 2K16 coming out in October, because of the simple fact that I've heard the gameplay is actually supposed to be so much better than 2K15, because, in my opinion, 2K15 was 2K14 light. I preferred 2K14 over 2K15 because I just did. So, we're going to be talking about a lot of stuff on here, and, it's a potpourri episode, so I definitely want questions from the fans. I definitely want questions from the ministry. I want to just, talk about whatever's on your mind. NEW Northeast Wrestling had their Wrestling Under the Stars this past Saturday in Wappingers Falls, New York. From what I heard, it was a great event. Samoa Joe was there, Rey Mysterio Jr., Alberto El Patron, formerly known as Alberto Del Rio. They were there. Jerry Lawler was supposed to be there but could not be. But NEW puts on a good product. Actually, I went to one of their shows back in June with my son, and he enjoyed it. I mean, indie wrestling is where it's at. As a matter of fact, CTWE, Connecticut Wrestling Entertainment, that had folded back in 2013, is coming back. It's making a comeback. It's going to be in Stratford on September 19th, I believe. And, check it out. It's all over Facebook. CTWE, The Force Awakens. In my opinion, it should be The Force Reawakens, but, whatever the case may be. It's one of those things where I think it's going to be great because, when Joey Bricco had to end it, NEW came and took over Bethany, Connecticut as their territory, and now the CTWE is back. I think they can coexist, but they're going to end up being in Stratford, Connecticut. A lot of these indie wrestlers, and when I had the interview with Bobby Ocean, they don't just, it's not one of those things where you're specifically contracted to one indie promotion. It's not like the WWE or Ring of Honor or TNA. And even with TNA and Ring of Honor, it's not exclusive anymore because they just don't have the money. But you're not exclusive to one indie organization. You could wrestle for CTWE and NEW as long as you don't have conflicting dates. If you're a champion, it's the same thing. You got to make sure you be there. You're not conflicting dates. That's what it is at this point. We're going to go to our first song of the day. This is a female that we've been playing for quite a while. I wouldn't necessarily call her a diva per se in the definition of diva, but it's Jenna Marotta. She's all over Facebook, or she's on Facebook, I should say. So Jenna Marotta, this song is called Rainy Day, right here on the Sportswire. Check it out.
My mama
right, and that was Rainy Day by Jenna Marotta right here on the Sportswire. Amazingly, it's one of those things where she has a great voice, great song. During the break, I was, as the Periscope people that are watching, we've got 4 viewers, thank you very much. As the Periscope viewers can tell you, I started laughing during our, during the break. Every so often on Facebook, you'll see these, you'll see these things that pop up about the picture, the picture slideshows of the worst selfie fails or whatever, or one of them the one that I didn't necessarily I wasn't ready for was why give a woman anal sex? That was or should I say why women want it or whatever the case may be. But I ended up going into a slideshow of the 12 worst selfie fails ever, and I just started laughing. Selfie fails are selfie has become such a big thing in society today because, well, with the advent of the rotating camera phone, you can now take pictures of yourself. I mean, it wasn't up until about a month ago that I actually learned how to really take a selfie. You got to be up, you got to somehow lift it up in the air and then take a picture of yourself. It wasn't until, I was with Desiree until I figured it out. I'm not going to get into my personal business here. That's not for anything here. For those of you that have followed me on Facebook, you've seen my personal business, at least on my personal page and on my Big Daddy Cool fan page. But anyways, back to the Sportswire. But anyways, as I was saying, the word selfie has come into the dictionary or the lexicon of America basically in the past, I don't know, 2 or 3 years. I mean, they made a song about it that, what are the names of Chainsmokers or something? Let Me Take a Selfie. Quite honestly, probably the worst song, well, one of the worst songs ever made. And the video to go with it, just one of the worst videos ever made. I think the only song that probably pales in comparison to being the worst song ever has to be Sisqo's Thong Song, back from the 90s. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's got a beat, and, if you're going to dance to it, you could grind or whatever the case may be, but listen to it. It's got, one verse. That's it. One verse of the whole freaking song. And then the whole thing with the selfies, but first, let me take a selfie, and that's all it's about. So between those 2 songs, and maybe that's a show that I'll have to do coming up, is the worst worst songs in history, the top 10 worst songs in history. I'll see if I can get them played for you or whatever, because quite honestly, some of those songs are just absolutely horrid. All right, so the 12 worst selfie fails. They had a picture of somebody taking a selfie from running the Bulls. I don't think that that's a place that you would like to stop what you're doing just to take a selfie, because you're running from a pack, a herd of bulls, a herd of bulls that are trying to maim you and impale you with their horns. I don't think that's the most appropriate place to have to take a selfie. I may be old-fashioned, but I would want to take a selfie with the person I love, maybe with my kids, not with a bull chasing me. There was also another one that she took a selfie in front of a casket at a funeral. Now that's, it's funny because it makes me think of the Weird Al song Happy. Excuse me. Tacky, not Happy, Tacky. His cover of Pharrell's Happy. And one of the points is, he'll take a selfie with the deceased at a funeral. But this woman took a selfie in front of a casket at a funeral. At the cemetery. That's just, I don't know. Is it disrespectful? Is it just inappropriate? I don't know. You have to have some selfie etiquette. I know people use the women use the front-facing camera for makeup. As a matter of fact, I saw Desiree doing that a couple times, and I jokingly told her, I said, she's got no selfie control. Because, a lot of women are like that. A lot of people are like that. Not just women. A lot of people are like that. They just have no selfie control. Of course, well, I'm not, again, not getting into it. Anyways, we got some stuff to talk about. Let's move on to Great Wolf Lodge. Is not where? I thought, is that not where? Or that was a Great Moose Lodge, Big Moose, something like that. I went to Tennessee back in the winter in February. Yeah, February, going down to Tennessee, in the mountains. The Big Moose Lodge, that's what it was. For a church retreat. It was called Ready for Love, actually, singles retreat. Talking about godly love, and I just saw an advertisement for Great Wolf Lodge, and I thought that's what it was, but it obviously not. It was not. All right, so let's get on to our talking of the Connecticut Panthers. That's right, the Connecticut Panthers, and like I said, they don't have their own theme song, so I use Sable's theme for the Panthers. I mean, it's a cat, it's a big cat. I'm assuming it's supposed to be a tiger or whatever the case may be, but whatever. Let's go over the NEFL, New England Football League. New England, not Northeast. The largest semi-pro minor football league in the nation. We're going to go over the Colonial Conference standings. In the Northern Division, the Southern Maine Raging Bulls and the North Shore Generals and the Lowell Nor'easter are all three of them. Oh, I'm sorry, and also the Rhode Island War Dogs. All four of them tied at 2-1. In actual first place is Southern Maine Raging Bulls with a points for of 78 compared to points against of 42. In that would be fifth place. The Boston Bandits are 1-2, and the Northeast Natives are 0-3. In the Southern Division, the Western Connecticut Militia, they play out in Danbury. They are 3-0. The Pioneer Valley Knights are 1-0 in second place. Your reigning, defending, undisputed Colonial Division champions, the Connecticut Panthers, are 2-1. However, they're on a 2-game scoreless. No, not scoreless, but not letting people score on them. Basically, in their first game they gave up 21 points. In the next two games they gave up nothing. Their defense is on a two-game shutout streak, so to speak. The Connecticut Chiefs are 1-1, which I'm assuming that's one of the games that the Pioneer Valley Knights missed out on. And the Hartford Colts are 0-3, and the Brass City Brawlers are 0-2. That's probably the other game that the Pioneer Valley Knights missed out on. Just in those standings right there, the Brawlers and the Colts are winless. The Pioneer Valley Knights and the Militia are undefeated, but the Pioneer Valley Knights have only played one game. So they go into Meriden this coming Saturday and play the Connecticut Panthers. 6:30 gates open, 7 o'clock kickoff time. We will be live on the air starting at 6:30 with a pregame show. Myself, Big Daddy Cool, Vinny Apicella, and Lenny Murdo. He will be, he will be on color with me, and we're looking to have a good game. Tickets are just $10. Children under 12 are free. Come on out to a great game, great family-friendly atmosphere. They play at Falcon Field in Meriden, as I said, and they're probably the absolute greatest, the best team around at this point. Okay, so let me actually go through the schedule for this week for the Colonial Conference AAA Division. Saturday at 5 p.m. at Crosby High School in Waterbury. It's the Western Connecticut Militia going in to face the Brass City Brawlers. Obviously, like I just said, at 6:30 p.m., the Pioneer Valley Knights are going to be at the Connecticut Panthers at Falcon Field in Meriden. It's Saturday at 7 p.m. North Shore Generals go to Lowell, Massachusetts to take on the Lowell Nor'easter at Cawley Stadium in Lowell, Mass. Saturday at 7 again, the Southern Maine Raging Bulls go into North Smithfield, Rhode Island to take on the Rhode Island War Dogs at North Smithfield High School. The Hartford Colts go down to take on the Connecticut Chiefs at Strong Stadium in West Haven, Connecticut. And then rounding out the Colonial Division, the Northeast Natives go into Boston. And they take on the Boston Bandits. That's going to be at English High School in Jamaica Plain, Massachusetts. So, definitely check those out because they are the those are the elite, I should say. Those are the NFL Elite Division, the Colonial Division, the top, the top of the semi-pro standings. So that's your Week 4 schedule. All right, so that's your preview for the game this coming Saturday. Like I said, we will be on the air at 6:30 p.m. live on Fat Cat Radio with the pregame for the Connecticut Panthers taking on the Pioneer Valley Knights from Falcon Field in Meriden, Connecticut. So definitely tune into that. Or if you're in the area, come on down. It's inexpensive. It's family fun. $10 a person, $10 a person. Children under 12 are free. They have concession stands and everything. So check them out. That's the Connecticut Panthers. All right, so we're going to get on to our next song. There's a good buddy of mine. His name is Jay Deuce. I played him on the show quite a few times. Here's a song of his. It's called Hard Time. I played it before. Here's Jay Deuce with Hard Time right here on the Sportswire.
This is hard times. Yo, I was raised in an environment filled with situations that I meet fairy tales that exist in these hood like ghetto streets. It was tough for my mom to meet the needs of the household, to be able to have a table with me, to feed a mouthful. Bad social weather didn't allow my parents to stay together. When it rained and poured, it meant that I knew we're going through the same endeavor and can relate with what we're facing. Welfare and unemployment lines filled with familiar faces. Always hard to find a reason to smile. So you wanna get into my shoes and try to walk a mile? I don't know about that shit. It was tough for me to walk when I was continually growing out of my shoes. As far as new styles and trends, couldn't really spot them. As far as the ones who did, they were quick to get stolen. Wish I had a dime for every time I met someone going through the same grind. A clock made out of sweat can't compare to this hard time.
Need money to feed my kids.
This is hard time.
Asking God why I have to live. Late on rent again. Can't afford to keep with trends. Minimum wage, I need more hours. Cold water while I'm taking the shower. Wanna lean on friends. I'm drowning out again.
You went from having good times to no time, a busy life to no life, a free life, a stress life, a hard time, a hard life. You try to make the best of your circumstances and everything that turns into it, but once you pay your bills, another one resurfaces. Some people that's already in debt think they got nothing to lose, but that's easy to act when the credit card is pre-approved. That's why you gotta be disciplined and be the bigger man, because you buy one thing and the government got you in the palm of their hand, and that's the problem where you make your biggest mistake. You buy the newest Escalade and have no food in your plate. When Obama became president, people thought that things was gonna change, but these can't change unless some of us take the blame. Two major debates is Medicaid and economy. A debate for the past 30 years because the world is a monopoly. The good die young and the better die quicker. The poor stay broke and the richer get richer. Hard times.
Feed my kids.
This is hard time.
Asking God why I have to live. Late on rent again. Can't afford to keep with trends. Minimum wage, I need more hours.
This is hard time.
Cold water while I'm taking the shower. Wanna lean on friends.
This is hard time.
I'm drowning out again.
right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Hard Time with Jay Deuce right here on the Sportswire. I want to thank the 3 people that have stayed on the Periscope. I did leave for a couple minutes to go down and get some of my orange water so I can keep my throat dry while I'm talking to you folks out here. But so it's as a matter of fact, Jay Deuce will be at the WWE event in Bridgeport on the 21st. He'll be there with me, actually. So if you want to meet him, get his autograph, give him some pointers, he will be there as well. All right, so that was Jay Deuce with Hard Time right here on the Sportswire. So let's see. I talked about this show being more of a potpourri type episode because, well, quite honestly, that's what it is. But let me get into all right, let me get into some sports action, if you will. WWE SummerSlam coming up. Let me see if I can get the official card that's on there so far. At least the preliminary card, because right now, we know that the main event is going to be The Undertaker against Brock Lesnar. Because, well, after Brock Lesnar broke the streak at WrestleMania 31, The Undertaker had come back at Battleground and cost him the world title, and then the next night on Raw, they both got into this huge brawl, for lack of a better term, and they set the match. The Undertaker's out for revenge. Of course, he waited 18 months to do it, but you know what, or 15 months, but you know what, that's okay, because that's what The Undertaker is all about. The Undertaker's back to get revenge on Brock Lesnar. All right, so let's get into SummerSlam here. See if we can get a card. The current announced matches, and let's see. We know the main event is going to be The Undertaker against Brock Lesnar, and I think that is the only match that's actually been announced. Rumors are big here in the WWE. The rumor mill has been floating around the past couple of weeks with the idea that Sting is going to be involved somehow. And for those of you that don't even know who Sting is, first of all, look up WCW. Look up Sting was at WrestleMania, fought Triple H. From what I've heard, the original plan was to do a 6-man tag match of either a 6-man tag match or a regular tag team match. Roman Reigns would be teaming with either Sting or Sting and Dean Ambrose to face Bray Wyatt, with Luke Harper and either a third member of the Wyatt family or Eric Rowan, but Eric Rowan being injured. Or I should say Bray Wyatt and Luke Harper with the option of another Wyatt family member. But from what I've heard, plans for that match have been scrapped. I don't know if Sting will be in the area because he's going to be in the autograph signing the day before. But I don't know if they're going to actually use him on the card. Now, if they do use him on the card, he and The Undertaker are going to be in the same building. From what I've been told, they want to have Sting versus The Undertaker at WrestleMania in Dallas coming up in April of next year, simply because of the drawing power. They want to pack this card with every name possible to sell out the place, because if they could get 110,000 people jam-packed into AT&T Stadium, which I believe they can retake the indoor attendance record from the NBA All-Star Game of 2010 or 2008, whenever it was, in Dallas. Because that NBA All-Star Game took the indoor attendance record from WrestleMania 3 from Pontiac Silverdome when it was 93,000 people. So now the WWE is going to get that 110,000. They want that record back, and they're going to pack up that card. So Undertaker and Sting, I've heard a possibility. I don't think it's going to happen. Possibility of Brock Lesnar versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. That's been a rumor since the Austin Heyman podcast back in June, but I don't think that's going to happen. What I wouldn't mind seeing is Kurt Angle come back and have a Kurt Angle-Brock Lesnar match. But, Kurt Angle is with TNA, and WWE, from what I heard, only expressed interest in Angle if he came back full-time, which I don't understand why they would want Angle full-time when he's getting up in age. He's been hurt, and, it's one of those things where you have The Rock come in every so often. You have Brock Lesnar come in every so often on limited schedules. Kurt Angle is, in my opinion, is right up there on the level with The Rock. Kurt Angle is bigger than Brock Lesnar, and, he should have a part-time Legends deal, just like the rest of these guys. So that's a flub on WWE's part. I don't know if Triple H just doesn't like Kurt Angle. I don't know what the deal is, but to tell Angle, who's 45 years old with a bionic neck, so to speak, that he has to be at every house show, every Raw, a full-time schedule. That's ridiculous in my opinion. You have the young guys, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, Bray Wyatt, that are there full-time, that are carrying the house shows. And Chris Jericho, who's only back for the house shows. Jericho will be there in Bridgeport on the 21st. But, Jericho's only doing the house shows. Why can't Kurt Angle be one of those, be a big-name guy, part-timer? That and then you could have the matchup again at WrestleMania, Brock Lesnar versus Kurt Angle. But you know what? Actually, I was listening to Jim Ross' podcast, The Ross Report, not too long ago, and I think Mike Tenay had brought it up. How about this match? Samoa Joe versus Brock Lesnar. That would be something I'd pay to see. That, I think, would sell out AT&T Stadium in Dallas. Samoa Joe and Brock Lesnar. They both have the submission styles. They're both big guys. They can both fight. I think that would sell out the place quickly. Brock Lesnar and Samoa Joe. But getting back to SummerSlam, Ryback is still hurt. He's suffering from a staph infection right now, which is why he couldn't defend the title at Battleground. Do you think he should be stripped? I mean, with so many people getting hurt that are champions, and the fact that Daniel Bryan not only had to be stripped of the world title, but he also had to be stripped of the Intercontinental title, that brings a question, should Ryback be stripped? Well, in my opinion, I think it's good to have the champion there every week. If the champion's hurt, it's like he's hurt, nothing you can do. I don't think every time somebody gets hurt, you should have to strip the title. In Daniel Bryan's case, he's dealing with neck injury. He's dealing with the fact that his career is over. He will never wrestle again. That's why he had to be stripped. It's not like he couldn't even chance one more match, because one more wrong move, one more wrong tweak of his neck, he could be paralyzed and even worse. So that's why Daniel Bryan had to be stripped of his titles. Should Ryback? I don't know. Will he be back for SummerSlam? We still don't know. But, I mean, you do need to have the title defended at some point. I think if he misses SummerSlam and then he has to miss the next pay-per-view, which I believe is Night of Champions, if he can't make it to Night of Champions, then yes, strip the title, put it up in a six-way ladder match. I think that would be great. Just like, they did the six-man Elimination Chamber match at Elimination Chamber. One thing I would like to see the WWE do over the next, couple of years, implement war games. Ever since WWE was bought, or WCW was bought in 2001, the one main match that everybody wanted was the double ring, double cage war games match, which, is almost like the Survivor Series, but it's in two rings. You can only win by submission. Someone on the other team has to be I quit, and everybody's in there at once. I thought it was absolutely a fantastic idea. They have the Elimination Chamber, but again, the Elimination Chamber is one, everybody's individual. You don't necessarily have the team aspect of it. And I think that's a lost art here, in the WWE nowadays, is the team aspect. We know the problems with tag teams. We know that there's not really a tag team division. There's a couple. There's the New Day. There's, the Ascension. There's, Tyson Kidd is hurt now, so Cesaro's on his own. There's the Lucha Dragons. But they definitely need a resurgence in the team aspect of things. Even with Survivor Series, they only have usually one one classic Survivor Series match. Because nobody wants, and I think that's the problem with having no set, shades of black and white, heel and face. People are going to cheer for John Cena, but people also boo for John Cena. People are going to cheer for Brock Lesnar, and people are going to boo for Brock Lesnar. So, it's like there's no set. There's just no set aspect of who's good and who's bad anymore. So the traditional Survivor Series is out the window. Because if you remember back in the early 90s, up until 95, 96, they had mostly, 92. No, I'm sorry, 91 was the first. 91, no, 92. I'm right, 92. 92 was the very first time they had a singles match, and it was The Undertaker and Hulk Hogan for the. No, was that 91? Now I'm getting my dates mixed up. Time to log out of the WWE Network. Survivor Series, when The Undertaker came out, Survivor Series 1990, it was in Hartford, Connecticut. So in 91, that's right, yes. Now I'm getting, okay. So SummerSlam 91, or Survivor Series 91, my brain is going too fast for my mouth at this point, folks, so please bear with me. Survivor Series 91 was the very first Survivor Series that had the singles match. Undertaker versus Hogan for the title, which Ric Flair got involved in. After that, they had at least one non-traditional Survivor Series match on the card. Because in 92 it was Randy Savage, and it was supposed to be Randy Savage and the Ultimate Warrior against Razor Ramon and Ric Flair. Ultimate Warrior got fired again, and it turned out to be Randy Savage and Mr. Perfect. And then, going on in 93, it was Undertaker versus Yokozuna in the casket match with Chuck Norris as the special enforcer. So it's, was that 94? That was 94. So 93 was something completely different. So you have, now it's to the point where you have one traditional Survivor Series match, complete opposite as it used to be. And it's because nobody can really put their differences aside to team together anymore. I would love to, I do remember back 2006, I want to say, traditional Survivor Series match. It was DX, which was Triple H and Shawn Michaels, the Hardy Boys, Matt and Jeff Hardy, and CM Punk on one team against Rated RKO, which was Randy Orton and Edge, and then Mike Knox, and two other guys. I can't remember who they were at this point. But, that was a great traditional Survivor Series match. I miss those. I really do, because you get all the different storylines into one, rolled into one. New storylines are created. 93, that's right. 93 was when the Yokozuna Undertaker, the Undertaker-Yokozuna conflict first started, because 93 was Lex Luger, the Undertaker, and the Steiner brothers against Crush, Yokozuna, Crush, Ludwig Borga, and Pierre, Jacques of the Quebecers. That's right, because then Undertaker and Yokozuna started battling. They, and then that's where the first casting match, Royal Rumble 94, and then fast forward to Survivor Series of 94 was the second one. So I think, it might have been Survivor, so that was how the Survivor Series went. Of course, my brain just goes all over the place all the time. I'm going to, that's perfect segue to our next song. Time rolls on. As time does roll on, even if my brain can't get it right. Here's Katie Perkins, who's a great talent from Connecticut. Time rolls on, right here on the Sportswire.
I wish I could call you, but my cell phone is dead. I've been thinking all night, babe. Yeah, you're all in my head. I wish I could talk to you, and you'd help me. Yeah, you'd help me see it through. Time rolls on. I wish I could stay longer. So the TV, I heard what they said. I don't know what to do, babe. Life is such a crazy mess. I wish I could get to you, and I'd help you, yeah, I'd help you see it through. Time rolls on, don't wanna wait any longer. The sun is rising, and my love's still getting stronger. Time rolls on, but I made my decision. I can't live without you, can't wait another weekend. When we're together, you give me fire like never before. Time rolls on, don't wanna wait any longer. The sun is rising, and my love's still getting stronger. Time rolls on, but I made my decision. I can't live without you, can't wait another weekend. When we're together, you give me fire like never before. When we're together, you give me fire like never before.
All right, and that was all right, and that was "Time Rolls On" by Katie Perkins right here on the Sportswire. All right, so I don't think I'm gonna get time for the fifth song. Probably just for the fourth song. So speaking of "Time Rolls On," I'm surprised I didn't open up the show with this, but this past Saturday, the 1st of August, was UFC 190, Ronda Rousey's fight. Now, if you saw the fight or saw clips of the fight or whatever the case is, and you ended up, the time is of the essence. Ronda Rousey defeated Betch Correa in 34 seconds. She knocked her out in 34 seconds. Now, if that's not something to be, I guess, proud of, or something to just or be fearful of, that's what it is. Betch Correa was talking all kinds of crap leading up to the fight, and she got knocked out in 34 seconds. Ronda Rousey's past three fights took a total of 64 seconds. That is what you call amazing. Whether she's going to have someone tap out or knock someone out, 64 seconds for 3 fights. In my opinion, number one, all right, I've been hearing this a lot lately, and it especially came out when Ronda Rousey basically challenged Floyd Mayweather. Okay, here's the thing. Okay, now I'm not going to be sexist here. I'm not going to be gender biased or whatever the case may be. The fact of the matter is, women's MMA still is not big. Okay, it's still not where you're going to find a lot of challenges for Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey is a beast. She's a beautiful beast, but she's a beast nonetheless. She is someone who takes her craft. She was trained by Judo Jean LaBelle, okay, who was a professional wrestler. Okay, her mother was in fighting and everything, and obviously, and she paid tribute to the late great Roddy Piper with her fight on Saturday night, and said something really memorable. And I saw a meme out there on Facebook the next day. You know, Piper was watching from above and said, "That's my girl," because he gave her the basically the rights, the authorization, approval to use the name Ronda Rousey, and she did Piper proud. But just to have her win in 34 seconds, knockout. Now, when you think a knockout, you think, in boxing, it could take 12 to 15 minutes or, 12 to 15 rounds of 3 minutes apiece, which comes out to be almost 45 minutes long for a knockout. I mean, you're basically just punching in the head, but with the, 3-inch, 6-inch thick gloves. But in MMA, mixed martial arts, you end up, you're still beating people in the face, but it's a lot harder. And Ronda Rousey is, quite honestly, the best female athlete, the most dangerous female athlete in the world today. But would I necessarily want to see her against Floyd Mayweather? I don't know how that would go. I just don't know. I mean, there's only so much you could do. You could put Ronda Rousey in the WWE ring, even against, let's say, Charlotte, okay, and have a really good, decent match. I wouldn't put her in the ring against Stephanie McMahon, but, you could put her against Charlotte and have a really great, decent match because she's that kind of an athlete. Putting her into a real fight, you could put Floyd Mayweather against the Big Show. Again, it was a decent match, and it worked. But you put Floyd Mayweather against Ronda Rousey in a sanctioned fight. What does that do for either image? It's like you put Ronda Rousey, who is arguably, like I said, the best female athlete, in the world today, against somebody like Floyd Mayweather, who's arguably the best boxer in the world today. How do you sanction something like that? Obviously we're all taught that you're not supposed to hit women. Floyd Mayweather may have not listened to that growing up, allegedly. But if it's a sanctioned fight, I mean, I think that would do more harm to the boxing and MMA, genre or business than ever, because you're allowing a man to perform violence on a woman, quite honestly. And if Floyd just stood there and took it, then you're going, oh, it's he's just in it for the money. It's a fake fight, blah blah blah, and that damages the reputation of Ronda Rousey. So I don't think I would ever want to see that match sanctioned or promoted or anything, because it wouldn't, it may be a legitimate match. And if Ronda Rousey legitimately kicked Floyd's butt, well, which I honestly think probably would happen, it may be good, but I think the risks outweigh the benefits in that scenario, that situation. So I wouldn't, I necessarily would not do it. So let's see. Moving on. Okay. So here's something else that I wanted to talk about. Gawker. So obviously you know that Hulk Hogan has been embattled with Gawker for like the past 8 years or something, or past 3 or 4 years about the sex tape with Bubba the Love Sponge's wife, Heather Clem. And, so much has been going on. Last week or the week before, the whole idea of Hulk Hogan's racist remarks and everything came out of that tape, because Gawker released footage of it. Now here's the thing, okay? And I said this on the show. I said it on the Sportswire, a couple weeks ago when all this came out. Okay? So I said it. I said it that quite honestly, where was I going with this now? Oh yeah, during that time, Hulk Hogan was facing divorce. All right, his life was in constant upheaval because of Linda, his ex-wife, gold digger ex-wife. His son was in prison because of the racing killing of his friend, or paralyzing his friend in the race, and so his son was in jail. Brooke's career was taken off. She was the one that was getting in the spotlight instead of him. So all this was going on, and he had an affair with Bubba's wife, which, whether it was set up, whether it was one of those things where Bubba said, "Oh, you can have my wife for a night of pleasure," or whatever the case may be. I don't know. I wasn't there. Don't want to know. I don't want to see the tape either. But Bubba the Love Sponge set up a video camera for it. And, that's where these racist remarks came from or whatever. Now, here's the deal. I know, because I do it myself, when I'm stressed, when I'm pissed off, I'm going to say stuff that I don't necessarily mean, especially if I know I'm not being recorded or if I'm under the assumption I'm not being recorded. It's the same thing. Was he a Hulk Hogan character or was he Terry Bollea in the heat of the moment, really just venting to somebody who he thought he can trust? That's the thing. I think WWE was wrong to fire Hogan. I think they were wrong to completely cut ties with him because here's the thing. While I don't necessarily approve of what he said, okay, I don't agree with what he said. I don't feel that I feel that it was taken out of context. I feel that, it was also something that was not supposed to be filmed. Now, I am firmly behind Hulk Hogan 100%. And now that's even more fire, more stuff to add to the Gawker lawsuit is that now that's lost wages. Now it's lost wages for Hogan because he got fired from his contract with WWE. So now he could add that on top of destroying the public image and the fact that it was not, and he could also sue Bubba the Love Sponge for it too because, now all this fallout is from that tape that should have never been recorded in the first place. And the other thing is how easy is it for Bubba to manipulate the audio of it? He's in radio. He's a radio producer. He's a radio show host. How often did Hulk Hogan appear on the Bubba the Love Sponge radio show? And this is where Kevin Nash had said that he feels that the Hulk Hogan comments were doctored, and they were produced by Bubba the Love Sponge. They were falsified, fabricated even. So there's more to the story. It's not cut and dry. Everybody heard by now what Hogan said, or at least read the transcript of what Hogan said. Okay, supposedly said. And again, it's one of those things where I think it was taken out of context. I think that, do I necessarily agree with the worst of the use of the word? No, absolutely not. I don't even like it when I see it on Facebook posts because it's like, in the African American community, you're able to say it as long as you put the A at the end. It's okay. It's a term of endearment. I think that's ridiculous because then if somebody else says it, then it's offensive. So instead of allowing your own race or your own kind of, people, your friends say it as a term of endearment, just knock the entire word out of the lexicon of the English language, out of the American language. Knock it out. You can't expect people to stop using words unless the word is completely taken out of the lexicon. Because because here's the thing. If you're going to raise a child in society today, okay? If you're going to raise a child in today's society and just talk proper, let me just say proper wording, appropriate wording, no offensive words, no swears, no nothing, okay? That child is going to go out into the world and talk proper. Talk no swears, talk nicely, positive, love, all that. No offensive words out of there. Unfortunately, you get a lot of people who who are raised without that kind of supervision and without that kind of that nurturing that you need. So you end up with people that are able, not that they're able, but that they do use that kind of language, and it's because of their upbringing. So if you want to knock a word out of the lexicon, don't use it yourself. It would be like me, being Italian. Okay, not much really offends me, whether, whatever. Unless, all right, here's a perfect example. Okay, somebody calls me fat. I know I'm overweight. I know I have, pounds to lose. I know that. Okay, and for most people that are overweight, it's a struggle. It is a big struggle. But to be called fat, now, I joke around with it, but that's the perfect example. Is that, the word fat is very offensive to a lot of people. But on the same hand, a lot of people who are overweight use the word fat jokingly. So if you're going to get offended by somebody's use of it, don't use it yourself. And that's what I'm trying to teach my son, because when my son comes over and he says you're fat or whatever, I correct him and I say, no, that you don't do that, because that's that's a put down. But then he hears it from us as the adults in his life as a joking word. Oh, you're a fat boy, or fat woman, or whatever, and it's like one of those things where it's being used as a term of endearment or a term of joking. So you don't like the word, you get offended easily by the word, don't use it yourself. And that's my point. And I haven't said anything racist. I haven't said anything against any specific type of people or kind of people or race of people or nationality of people. But if you don't like a word that's being used against you, that hurts you, that's offending you, don't use it yourself in any kind of joking fashion, because that gives a double standard. That gives a wrong message. All right, so, the whole reason why I brought up Gawker was because they did another boo-boo today where they texted out, or they released, Donald Trump's personal cell phone number. Donald Trump, as you know, is running for president in the year 2016 on the Republican ticket. They released his phone number to the public. What audacity they have to do that? I don't think they should have a right to do that, but whatever. But you know what? When people call that number, you know what happens when people call that number? They get a personalized campaign message from Donald Trump saying, do you want... I don't know what it said because I didn't call it, but it's like, let's change America for 2016. I'm running for president, or something like that. So it's like they're this ultra-liberal type of gossip column, Gawker. They put out Donald Trump, who's a conservative. They put out his cell phone number, and it's free publicity, free promotion for Donald Trump. So it backfired on him. I think that's absolutely awesome. Okay, so we're going to get on to our next song. This is a new band. I started playing them last week. The band name is called The Mugs, M-U-G-G-S, The Mugs. This song is called Gonna Need My Help, right here on the Sportswire.
You're gonna need
And that was the Mugs with Gonna Need My Help right here on the Sportswire. Great local indie talent. Just happened to, they actually replied to a comment. What is this? Somebody's thinking Prout. Okay, I have no idea what Prout means, but whatever the case may be. So as I've said before, that we are on Periscope, and we're actually just about done with the show. So I want to thank you all who are on there. Thank you all for watching. I had 3 people the majority of the time, but as we get bigger and more pronounced and more, more out there, more well known, more people will tune in. So I want to thank you all for watching. Before we leave, we're going to go to our final segment of, we're going to go for the final segment of the show. All right, and for those of you that know, trying to find, good grief. Wow, really? Okay, here we go. So here's the final segment of the show. And that means it's time for the dumb laws of the day, courtesy of dumblaws.com. Today we're going to go across the pond again. We're going to go over to Finland, part of the that group of Finland, Norway, the Arctic areas of is it Arctic? No. Oh crud! But Finland, Norway, Netherlands, that whole area up there. So here are the dumb laws of the day. Okay. The government of Finland collects a candy tax for goods containing sugar. Bottled water gets taxed, but cookies do not. How do you figure on that one? All people in Finland must pay a TV tax whether or not they own a TV. That sounds like a union do. Underground power lines and overhead power lines can't be by the roadside at the same time. They can only be placed at the roadside alone. Okay? Taxi drivers must pay royalties if they play music in their cars for paying customers. That's just crazy talk. And those are the dumb laws from Finland. Folks, I've had a great time. I want to thank the people from Periscope that are watching. I want to thank everybody that's commenting on Sportswire. Don't forget to visit the web pages for our sponsors. Wayne Jones Management Company, www.blemg.com. Jerry Wilson from It's So Real Productions, and also Stay Blessed Productions. They are on Facebook. Definitely check out all the ways to listen to the Sportswire. www.swe-ct.com, www.myfatcatradio.com, Spreaker.com/show/Sportswire, sports-wire. And then Facebook.com/BDC Vinny Apicella, Facebook.com/SportswireCT, Facebook.com/FatCat Radio Enterprise, and then on Twitter, Periscope, Tout, Foursquare, Instagram, Tumblr, SoundCloud. It's at SWE Connecticut. And then on YouTube, Google Plus, and Skype is Sportswire SWE. As always, subscribe to the Sportswire on iTunes. You can either subscribe or download. You subscribe. You go to iTunes, go to the podcast page, search Sportswire, look for our flame logo, and that's it. Subscribe. Every new episode of Sportswire and every new Connecticut Panthers game will be delivered directly to your listening apparatus, whether it's an iPhone, an iPad, Android, computer, Mac, whatever it is, and it will be delivered directly to you, so you don't have to worry about searching for it ever again. So go to iTunes and subscribe. All right, folks, thank you very much for everything you've done. Thank you for your, thank you for listening, folks, and thank you for watching on Periscope. We will be back on Saturday for either Friday for another podcast episode, or Saturday we will be back for the Panthers against the Pioneer Valley Knights Saturday, Falcon Field, 6:30 p.m. The gates open, and $10 per person. Children under 12 free. Meriden, Connecticut, Falcon Field. The reigning, defending, undisputed Colonial Conference champions, the Connecticut Panthers, taking on the Pioneer Valley Knights. Folks, have a great day, and we'll see you all next time on the Sportswire.